Hey guys, it's Andrew. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing another concert review video. Today's concert that I ended up going to was Omega X's concert out here in Chicago. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of a review and sharing my thoughts on the whole concert and just everything leading up to the concert. So I hope you guys enjoy and let's get started. So yes, so I ended up going to Omega X's concert, which was on October 10th, right? Yeah, October 10th, which was a Monday, and it was out here in Chicago. It was at Concord Music Hall, same venue that I've been to for both ONEUS and Dreamcatcher, and a bunch of other K-pop groups have gone there, so I'm very familiar with the venue already. So venue itself, very, very nice. I kind of, I've already talked about it in my ONEUS concert review, so I'm not really gonna get too in depth with the concert venue, since I've already been to it. So some of the things I wanted to point out about this concert and just about this tour in general was, for those of you who are not aware, this whole tour regarding with Omega X was very, very chaotic and such a mess, just because they've went through two different touring companies that both, pretty much scammed them, both Spire and the group. So by the time they came to Chicago, they just ended up being run by just Spire Entertainment themselves, which is very, very confusing, but it was just a lot that had happened. I'm not gonna lie, when they first announced that they were stuck in Chile, I was very, very nervous that I wasn't even gonna be able to go to this concert in the first place, just because both Spire and their touring company that they were previously in collaboration with, MC, were not communicating with each other, and there was just a lot of miscommunication and a lot of shady things that MC was doing. So I was really nervous that we weren't going to be able to see them, but they ended up fixing everything to the point, so it was okay. One thing I will say about the concert that was a little bit of a bummer, but kind of makes sense, especially with everything that was happening, was there was not really any merch, for the concert, so I didn't really get anything at all for this concert, but kind of makes sense since how they went through two different touring companies that were supposed to have different benefits and everything for the VIP, and just all kind of confusing things. But besides that, I guess if you want to count it, I did order their light stick a couple weeks, I don't know if it was a couple weeks or about a week before they came to Chicago, so I ended up getting it. So if you want, I can just show you guys a little bit of the light stick real quick, since I didn't do an unboxing video on my channel. So this is their light stick, and this is the light stick that I ended up taking to the concert. As you can see, it's a little bit basic, I saw some of the fans, they had decorated the light stick with jewels and everything. I just personally, it looks cool, to do. I just personally never really do that with any of my light sticks, just because I feel when I try to decorate them, I'll mess up. But this is the light stick that I ended up bringing and I ended up using. I will say I did kind of get the strap, handle strap, a little bit dirty, because at the venue they stamped our hands to determine if we were 21 or not, and I did get some of the stamp and the ink onto the strap, so I was a little bit upset about that, but honestly it's okay, because it just shows that I've used it and it gives it character, so. But yeah, so this was, I guess, what you could consider merch. I do show the merch that I get for these concert reviews, but since I didn't get anything, I guess I'll just use this as my haul. Anyways, back to the actual concert. I will say we got there a little bit before 5 o'clock. We showed up. Another thing that was confusing was that they had the doors that open, the time that the doors were opening, as well as the time of the concert, both set at 6 o'clock. I don't know if it was just that specific app I was using for the tickets, or if it was just everything, but for the app I was using, which was AXS for ticketing, it was weird. I didn't know what time exactly the concert was at, so that's why we got there so early at 5 o'clock, or a little bit before 5. But we ended up standing in line for a whole 2 hours, because turns out the concert did not start at 6, it started at 7. The doors opened at 6, so that made a lot more sense, especially since I felt like 6 o'clock was such an early time for a concert. If you think about it, we spent more time in line than we did at the actual concert, because the concert was actually kind of short. So I will say about the concert itself, like, you know, talking about the, you know, the lines, there were not that many people at this concert, which was kind of surprising. I mean, kind of surprising, but kind of not at the same time, because based off of what I was hearing all over on Twitter and what I was seeing all over on Twitter, that how they weren't really selling out as much in any of the venues. So it was kind of understandable. I was kind of expecting kind of like a smaller crowd, but it was a pretty small crowd. It was like very, very small. Like I was very close up to the stage, and if you guys check out my fan cam videos, which they should already be up by now, you can tell I was like very, very close up to the stage and to the members themselves. Now, another thing about this concert that was kind of upsetting, which I mean, I understand, but I didn't know about it, to be honest, because I wasn't really looking on Twitter that day for whatever reason. But literally right when I stood in line, there were like a group of girls that were standing behind us, and they were talking about how Taedong was like sick and he wasn't gonna be there. And I'm like, wait, what? I was just like out on the loop on that. So we were super, super close. We almost had all 11 members, but we just had one missing, but it was okay though, because of course, you know, he needed his sleep and his rest, you know, from being sick. They had made an announcement prior to the concert starting, like right when they did the lights, they made an announcement saying that Taedong was not going to be at the concert, or he wasn't going to be performing that night. But I mean, you know, what can you do? This is the most like fun concert I've ever been to, just because, I don't know, just being super up close to the stage and like to the members, and the amount of times I was like looking at the members and they were looking at me, they were staring at me, waving at me, you know, doing hearts. It was like insane, low-key. And I've been to like, you know, a bunch of concerts from like groups that have been at some smaller venues, so it's like I'm used to seeing them like closer and seeing how like real they are. But for whatever reason, this concert, they were like so real looking. This probably sounds weird, but they were so real looking to the point where they looked fake. Like, I don't know how to explain it. They looked so real up close that they almost looked like they weren't even real. I don't even know how to explain that, but that's just how I felt. I have a couple interactions, you know, with a couple of the members, which is just like insane. And like I said, a lot of them were like very much like giving eye contact and like smiling and everything, and I just didn't really know how to like act. Like I was talking to like my mom about it because she came with me, and I just didn't know how to like, I just like, it was like so like weird, because it was like they were, you know, they would look at me and they would wave and everything, and it was just like a different type of vibe, different type of like feeling. Performances themselves, I think they only performed 14 songs. I had the set list on my phone. It was a very, very small set list compared to all of the other concerts I've been to, where they've been like, you know, like anywhere from like 2 hours to like 3.5 hours long, with like 20 to 25 songs for a set list. So it was a short set list, but it was really fun though. I really liked a lot of the performances. They were super, super awesome. They were very hyped. If you check out like some of my fan cams, like they were really going off, and it was just like so fun. Like at one point I was literally jumping up and down. Like that's just how much fun I was having at this concert. And I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but my voice is a little bit gone still from last night, because I was low-key screaming and like cheering and all that shit. So I'm gonna have to edit this video a lot, because I'm like, my voice is cracking so much and it's giving out so much as I'm talking. Some of the interactions that I had were mainly with 2 members. There might have been more, but all I can remember is from 2 specific members, which were Seven and Hongyoung. I don't remember for what performance exactly it was. It might have been for Tri-Flower? I don't even remember. But he came over to the right side and he like stood like dead center of where I was standing, and you know, I was like a little bit further back, and I'm just like looking, up at them, and it's like I don't like if they look at me, it's like they're just gonna I'm just gonna look back, like I don't know what to do. And he looked at me, and I was looking at him, so I was just like, okay, and I wasn't recording. I didn't record for Dry Flower, so I just did like a little wave, and then he did a little wave, and then he did like what do you consider this, like a big heart? I don't even know. So that was a really cool interaction. Another interaction that was kind of funny was with Seven. He I don't know what exactly he was doing, because I was like half paying attention, half not. All I remember is that I was like went from looking at all of the members to just him, and then he was just like did something along the lines of like you, me, something, and I was just like, what? I was just like really confused, so I just started laughing, but then he started laughing too, and I'm like, what is going on? I honestly feel like out of all the members, I had like a lot of interactions with Seven. The amount of photos that I took were, in the photos you can literally see him just staring dead into my soul and into my camera. It's low-key kind of crazy. It wasn't weird, but like it was just like crazy how much he was like staring at me. And then I wouldn't say I had a couple like instances where Ye-chan also stared at me. I don't know if there's like, I think I have like maybe 1 or 2 photos, but it was just like insane. Like I was like I didn't know how to act. But yeah, so overall this was a pretty good concert, a pretty good time. I thought I had such a like fun time. Like my mom and I, when we were heading back home, we were saying about how much fun we had. So I definitely think that this was like one of my concerts I had the most fun at. I will say that I kind of regret is not buying any selfies. I just like regret it so much, because I didn't know at the time if it was going to be legit and if I was actually going to get them, if they were like authorized, because I know that at one point MC did like make some kind of thing with where they were like selling, you know, tickets for selfies, and it was like unauthorized, and like a company in the group didn't know about it. So I didn't know if that was like gonna be like a legit thing for the rest of the tour. So yeah, so I kind of regret it, because they were only $20, and you know, $20 per member. Like I could have gotten like maybe like 2 or 3 pictures, you know, for like with a couple of the members, you know, for like $60. So I do kind of regret that low-key, but I mean, hey, it's whatever, you know. So that was my overall review on Omega X's concert out here in Chicago. I had an amazing time, you know, like I said, it was super fun, and I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. So it was like a different vibe for once for a concert, and it was like a good one, you know. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Follow my social media links in the description below. Don't forget to check out all my fan cam videos that are out, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!